Okay, very good morning to all. In previous class, we have to discuss about DC potentiometer. Okay, potentiometer is nothing but to measure the uh, variable voltage. Okay, how the potentiometer is working means, okay, here I am taking sliding wire type potentiometer. And you can give an input to that one side, and you can take output. Okay, this is the output. Okay, it's the output end, and here we are having some resistance value. So based on the resistance value, the particular amount of voltage can be dropped here, and we can get output at reduced level. Okay, so here I will give an input is a 10 volt means at the input side, and I have get output of less than 10 voltage. Okay, so based on that resistance value, here the output voltage can be reduced, because due to the resistive action some amount of voltage can be dropped here. This is a normal resistance concept. So here, what is the meaning of potentiometer means, just we can take some sliding arrangement. Okay, that means variable point. Just we can take the variable point. This is also output point, and we can move that sliding point, because this sliding point is nothing but this is also some wire, contact wire. That's all. That contact wire can touch with the resistance, fixed resistance, and it should be movable. Okay, it should be movable from a lower end to higher end. Okay, just you can move the value, move the slider into that position means the total full voltage can be traveled through the wire, and we can get full voltage. And we can adjust the slider into mid range of resistance, mean half of the resistance will be added into the circuit. So the can take the output point here, and we can get some different voltage. Okay, because here minimum resistance only added, so minimum voltage drop will be occurred here. So we can get output at because we are need some required voltage mean. So you can adjust the sliding contact, so we can get the variable voltage at output side. Otherwise you can connect here, the full resistance will be added into the circuits, so we can get the lowest voltage. So based on our requirement, that means based on our required output voltage, we can adjust the sliding wire or sliding contact. Some potentiometer having it is a rotary type, so it should be moving on that circular one. The resistance will be vary, and based on that resistance value to be added into your circuit, the output voltage can be variable. Okay, this is the concept of potentiometer. So here in our unit 3, okay, it's a comparative instruments. Okay, because here we are using potentiometer is the first chapter or first topic. So based on the potentiometer, we can measure the different components like a voltage, maybe current, maybe like a power also. Okay, we can measure the voltage and current means we can calculate power easily. And here we can using potentiometer, and some potentiometer we are taking the reference one, and we have to put a unknown voltage to the circuit, and we have to adjusting it and maybe comparing it, and we can measure the unknown voltage. So already we are having we are point out 5 types of potentiometers are there. Okay, the first one is Crompton's potentiometer, and second one Vernier type potentiometer. These 2 types are discussed within previous class. And now third one is dual range or dual range, that means 2 range potentiometer. And the next one, fourth one is a Brooks deflection, and fifth one volt ratio. Okay, fifth one is a volt ratio box. Okay, today we are we have to go for these three types of potentiometer. Okay, just first you have to see the circuit diagram, because it's the same as the 90% of circuit is same as vernier type potentiometer. Just you can see the vernier type potentiometer. It is a circuit of vernier potentiometer. Here you can see the three dialing elements. Okay, three major resistive elements. Here R1 and R2 and 9 by R. Because it is a variable resistance, it should be connected to the circuit. You can plug in. Okay, based on the plug-in contact, the resistance will be added into the circuit. Okay, this is the plug type resistance module. Okay, so here is the least value and this is the maximum value. So you can connect the plug in which location, mean that particular amount of resistance will be added into your circuit. So here just you can see the circuit, some battery arrangement, the topmost is the balancing elements and the bottommost is the measuring elements. Okay, so here as you can see the diagram here, come down, the same will be applied here. So here some resistance R1, because it's a variable resistance. Okay, that is a variable rheostat and it should be connected across as a wire type resistance. Okay, it is a thin wire, resistance wire, that is R2, and it should be connected some battery source and we can take output and it should be connected to our measuring dials. And another another resistance, variable resistance to be taken here R1, here R2, and R3 is some fixed resistance, and here R4 is the wired resistance, thin wire resistance. It should be connected to R5, and we can take a variable resistance in the terminal of R4 and it should be going here galvanometer switch, and R5 is taken out from and it should be connected with standard battery cell, and the output of battery is connected here. And first and remaining, this is the measuring dials. Okay, here three measuring dials available. Here it is used rotary type. Okay, in previous diagram it is a sliding wire type. Here we are using rotary type resistance, and this resistance output is connected to R1. Here some sliding contact type, and the R1 resistance output it should be connected to 9 by R10. Okay, this is a variable resistance. It should be also having plug type resistance. It should be connected here, and R by 9 resistance should be connected in series with the 9 R by 10 resistance. Okay, so these are all the known value. Okay, everything is having known value. Okay, and first you have to connect the switch position here. Okay, just we have to connect the switch position here. Just we have to close the circuit, and here the battery supply will be circulated to the circuit, and you can adjust the variable resistance R1, R2, R4. Okay, you can adjust anything, as well as here the sliding contact wires and R1 also. Okay, so you can adjust and you can set the galvanometer values null condition. Okay, so at initial time the galvanometer is not a null point. It will not represent a null point, and you can adjust the variable resistance. Here R1 and R2 is there and R4 is there, and maybe if possible you can adjust here the dialing element resistance R1 also can vary, and the rotary type also can vary, because if you have to connect the switch here, this element will be added into the circuit. So these are all already we are having the known value resistance. You can adjust this resistance value only for variable resistance. Okay, you can adjust the variable resistance only possible. Okay, you can't able to change the fixed resistance. Okay, here R5 is a fixed resistance and R3 is a fixed resistance. These resistance are not possible to change. Okay, just we can possible to change R4 and here R1 and R2. So these three resistance can be varied, and you can set the galvanometer value is null. Okay, it's the first step. Okay, you can get the null point. Okay, you can first set the null point. After that, you can open the switch. Okay, because it is a balanced condition. Okay, so why we have to adjust the galvanometer as null point mean? So at that time, the circuit, this whole circuit will be act as a balanced one. Okay, balanced circuit. Okay, so then only after that we have to measure the unknown values easily. So after that you have to close the switch position. Here you can apply the unknown voltage source. Okay, you can connect the unknown voltage source to the circuit. Okay, here we are taking the input here. This is the first measuring dial, so it should be going to that value, and you can adjust the knob is there, and this knob will be connected this area and this area. It should be the resistance will be added into the circuit, and it's going to, it will be, the output will be taken here, and it should be going to that R1 resistance value. Here you can adjust the tappings. Okay, and that R1 value also connected to that is a variable plug type resistance 9R by 10. And here you can first you can connect the least resistance value. So you have to plug the resistance value in x 0.1. So that is the least value of resistance to be added into the circuit. Okay, so at the same time you can also change this dial and this rotary van. Okay, this is the rotary van or rotary point. You can adjust and you can move the sliding point, and already we have to pick the plug-in least value x 0.1, and you can set the galvanometer null, because at initial time the galvanometer will not point out the null point. Okay, because some unknown voltage having a different voltage level, because we are setting at initially it is a balanced one. At the time we have to give an unknown voltage source. The galvanometer either moving either right side or left side. So you can adjust these three resistance element. Okay, because these are all the three resistance elements are known value. So based on that known value we have to find out the unknown value, and so you can adjust this rotary element and this sliding contact, and you can plug the resistance value here in x 0.1. So that is the minimum resistance value will be added here. Okay, at that time whenever the galvanometer is point out null value, we can stop the adjustment. Okay, so after that, so according to Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. Okay, V equal to I into R is the formula. So we have to find out the value of V. So V is the unknown voltage. So that unknown voltage only applied to our circuit, potentiometer circuit, and we have to find out the current and resistance value, because resistance value are we know the resistance value, because we are having the value of resistance here, and all the resistance value is known value. So you can calculate the resistance easily. Okay, and you can find out the current. You can substitute the formula and we can get the unknown voltage easily. So here how to find out the current is nothing but, here current I is the current, and it can be given by, so in general formula I equal to VB divided by R. So VB is our battery source, okay, known standard cell voltage, and R is nothing but the total resistance in the circuit. And how we can find out the resistance means, okay, thus we can see because we have to find out the resistance. It's a difficult one because here multiple resistance are used. So first I equal to same formula, I equal to V by R. So here R can be replaced by 9R divided by 10 plus 1 divided by 1 by R plus 9 by R. So how these values are came here means, just see the diagram here. So here 9R by 10, okay, this is a first resistance value, okay, it is connected in series. After that, the resistance R by 9 and resistance R1, this is the resistance R1, both are connected in parallel, okay, because it should be connected here. So both R by 9 and R1 is parallel. So R1 and this is parallel, R1 parallel with R by 9. And here R 9R by 10, this is the resistance value, it should be added series to the circuit, okay. So whenever the resistance connected in series means directly you can add the value. So whenever the resistance are parallel means, so we can using the formula 1 by R plus because it's like a inverse of the series, okay. Whenever you have to connect the resistance in series mean you can directly add it, and parallel mean you can take it inverse. So here 9 by R is the actual value plus 1 divided by 1 by R plus 9 by R, okay, both are in parallel. So here we can get a 1 by R plus 9 by R, and you can solve the equation here. Here both denominator having R because same, so you can add the values R 9 plus 1 10. So here 10 by R, here 9 by R, and so 9 R by 10, right, so here 9 R divided by 10 plus 1 divided by 10 by R. So here you can solve the equation. It is a parallel and its answer is 10 by R, and you can solve the put the equation here, and this is the resistance value, denominator is going to numerator here, and the equation is changed 9R plus R divided by 10. So here, so 9R plus R 10R divided by 10. So can cancel the 10 and 10. So here the value of resistance R is there. So here the total current is flowing through the circuit I equal to VB divided by R. Okay. So here the answer is current I equal to VB divided by R. So we can find out the current to the circuit, and also we have to find out the resistance value. Also we have to find out, and you can substitute this equation. You have to find out the unknown voltage is flowing through the circuit using dual range or two range potentiometer. Okay. If any doubt, any doubt from the topic? If any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, okay. Now, yes. Okay. Now we move on next topic, Brooks deflection potentiometer. Okay. So here it's a simple construction. Thus we can take any battery source, and it should be connected any variable rheostat, and it should be connected to main dial. Okay. So here main dial is divided by two sections. Okay. And another terminal is connected to unknown voltage source, and it should be serially connected with the galvanometer. And here some R1 and R2, some resistive decayed boxes to be connected here. That means R1 R2 is nothing but compensating resistance. Okay, compensating nothing but we can compensate with the resistance with the main resistive source. So then only we have to calculate the unknown voltage. Okay, how it can be calculated mean I will explain. Wait, it's a simple. Here the current flowing through the galvanometer, because here the galvanometer is connected in serial. Okay, series. So it should be measure the current. In previous one we have to connect the potentiometer, galvanometer in parallel. So it is measure the voltage. So based on the connection, it should be measure the voltage or current. Okay. Here we can connect the galvanometer in series to the circuit. So it should be measure the current flowing through the circuit. So here the current flowing through the galvanometer directly proportional to the current due to out of balance. Okay. Whenever the circuit is out of balance, some amount of current will be flowing through the galvanometer. Okay. So here unknown voltage. So here we are giving unknown voltage. It is equivalent to galvanometer reading plus main dial reading. So main dial galvanometer reading is nothing but here I is the current. Main dial reading is nothing but here some resistance value to be added into the circuit. So here main dial reading is a R. So unknown voltage is V. So V equal to I into R. That's all. It's a simple concept. So here we are connecting the two different set of resistance. One is main dial and another one is compensating resistance. Both are connected parallel. Okay. So first we can see the circuit explanation, and it is a known battery source should be connected to the variable resistance, because initially we have to give a supply voltage to that supply voltage to the main dial, and the same voltage to be flowing through the this area main dial, and here it should be come to here, and we can connect any resistance, okay, compensating resistance to that circuit. Here R2 is there, and you can connect this point to this point, or otherwise this point to this point, any point. Here also same, here R1 is there, and you can connect this R1 to any main dial. So here the circuit current will be flowing through here, and resistance value comes to here, and okay. And here maybe here you have to connect some point, because any one point should be short circuit, okay, at a time, and this resistance value and this resistance value should be added, and it should be comes to galvanometer point, and another end the galvanometer point is connected to any unknown voltage, because it is a ground potential. Just initially you have to connect to ground, and we have to adjust the zero potential, that is null point. Okay, so first initially we can give a battery source. Okay, you can give a battery source, and it should be connected. You can adjust the variable resistance, and you can connect the main dial with R1 R2 compensating resistance, and the circuit will be closed here, and the galvanometer point will be comes to null point. At the time we can adjust the, maybe it will not show the null potential, means you can adjust the variable resistance, and you can change the compensating resistance value also. Okay, just you can change the different resistance to be added to the main dial and compensating resistance, so we can get the null point. It is the initial step, everything is same. All the potentiometer circuit will be same. First step we have to set a null point. Okay, that means at that time the circuit will be balanced condition. Okay, so after that you can give an unknown voltage to the circuit. So the unknown voltage should be flowing through the main dial, and here another point is going to galvanometer and should be going here, and you can adjust the resistance, compensating resistance value. Based on that value, some current flow will be flowing through the galvanometer. So we can measure the current in that galvanometer, and you have to check the resistance value, because the main dial resistance value and R1 R2 is known resistance value. Okay, everything is known value. So we can find out the unknown voltage here. The galvanometer reading is a current and the main dial reading is a resistance. So we can multiply the value I into R. We have to find out the unknown voltage. Okay. And mostly it is used for continuously changing voltage. So this type of potentiometer, it is used for continuous varying voltage circuit. Okay, it is the main advantage. Okay, because it is easily measure the unknown voltage, because just we can switch the resistance. Okay, it is a compensating resistance and main dial resistance. Just we can click the switch. Okay, it should be closed. So easily we have to find out the resistance unknown voltage. And the last one is a volt ratio box. Okay, so here also the same concept. We can take a potentiometer. It's a huge ratio of potentiometer. The common terminal, it is a 0 voltage. So we can take the maximum voltage of 0.3 kilovolt. Okay, 0.3 kilovolt means 1 kilovolt is equal to 1000 voltage. So 0.3 means like a 300 voltage. Okay, and this is a potentiometer. We can take output here. Okay, we can take output here. That means to potentiometer. This is the unknown voltage. That voltage we don't know that output voltage. So here is a 0.0 and this is the unknown point. It is a UN. It is the unknown value. Okay, how to find out the unknown value here? And here we are taking some tappings, multiple tappings. Okay, and it is a 0. And here we can take this is the resistance value, and that amount is called 0.05 kilo ohm resistance value. And here is the 2.5 kilo ohm resistance value, and this is a 5 kilo ohm resistance value, and total is 10 kilo ohm resistance value. So here we have to take a total resistance value is 10 kilo ohm. 10 kilo ohm resistance value. So 10 kilo ohm. It's a total resistance value, and we can put an input of 0.3 kilovolt. So 1 kilovolt is equal to 1000 volt. 0.3 kilovolt is nothing but 300 voltage. Okay, so our actual voltage is 300 voltage is given to the circuit. And here we are put a multiple tappings also we are taking, and this is a 0.15 kilovolt. Maybe just we can take this point 0.15 kilovolt, that means 150 voltage. And you can take the tapping here, it's a 0.075 kilovolt, that means 75 voltage. So this is a 150 voltage, and 0.75 kV is a 75 voltage. Okay, so this is a different tappings to be taken here. And here volt ratio box along with potentiometer is used to measure the unknown voltage more than 2 voltage. Okay, it is at initially 0, so we can measure the more than 2 voltage in the output section. Okay, to potentiometer circuit. It consists of high resistance having number of tappings. So here we are taking 3 tappings here, and consider a voltage order 0.15 kV is to be measured. So here 0.15 kV is to be measured. Okay, first we have to select the tapping here, but in the circuit. Okay, in the circuit we have to select the 0.15 kV, and then this voltage is connected between the 0.15 kV and common terminals. So first we have to connect these 2 points. Okay, common point and 0.15 kV. And what is the value of unknown voltage? So I have to connect the input source at 0.15 kV, and how much amount of output will be delivered by this circuit. So here we don't know the value of unknown voltage here. So how we can find out means, so here now the voltage is on the potentiometer is 0.0014 kV. Okay, so the value is 0.14 kV. How it can be obtained means, So here now if the voltage on the potentiometer, wait, okay, if the then the voltage then this voltage is connected between the 0.5 kV and common terminals. Now if the voltage on the potentiometer is 0.014 kV, then the unknown voltage, so here we can find out the unknown voltage. So V equal to I into R. So here R equal to 5 kilo ohm. First we have to find out the value of R here, and here you can apply the voltage here 0.15 kV. So 0.15 kV terminal to the common terminal is the 5 kilo ohm. Okay, 5 kilo ohm, and divided by 0.05 kilo ohm. Okay, 0.05 kilo ohm nothing but we are adjusting the potentiometer terminal. So here we are adjusting the, because this terminal will be adjustable one, common point is fixed one, so it is a variable one. So now I have to variable or vary the potentiometer pin to that particular area. So this is the resistance value is, the movable resistance value is 0.0 kilo ohm. So the resistance value is total is 5, but our circuit including the value is 0.05. So we can divide the value and you can get a R, and you can multiply with the current value. Current, because the current value is found out by current I equal to V by R. So here voltage is already, we know the value voltage is 150 and the resistance value is already, we are having the resistance value here 5. Just those who are having calculate means just you can put a value, substitute the value here, and we can found out the value is current I. Okay, it is 0.014, and you have to multiply the resistance value, and we have to get a unknown voltage. Okay, if anyone having calculator, just we have to find out the value. Find out the value of R.
The 0.03.
0.03 here. Maybe anyone have calculated, just you can find out the value of unknown voltage. Okay, just you can try the formula. Okay, if not get answer means what is the answer you will get, and you can answer me. Okay, next class.
Sir, 0.14 வருது.
வருதா? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because we are using a kilo ohm means just you have to can adjust the milliampere. Okay, the current will be in milliampere, so then only I have to put a 0.0014. Okay. Okay, just you can just try it. Okay, no problem. Okay, because it is there is no problem in that topic. Just you can understand the concept. That's all. Okay. So first we have to put a input voltage. Select the tab here, and we can tapping the output here. So some resistance will be added at the input section, and we can get the output section. Minimum amount of resistance will be added into the circuit. So we can get the ratio of resistance value should be added here. So 5 divided by 0.05, and should be it is a resistance value, total resistance value added into the output section. That means potentiometer side, and this is the current. Okay, I into R formula, just it is a current value. We can get the unknown voltage is a 0.14 kV. Okay, here we can give a input voltage is 150, and here we can get output voltage is 0.14 kV. 0.14 kV is nothing but around 140 voltage. That's the range. Okay. So main applications of DC potentiometer is to measure the current. It is everything, unknown current, voltage, power, and measurement of resistance, and mainly used for calibration circuits. Okay, like a voltmeter, ammeter, and wattmeter calibration circuits. Okay, because we can adjust potentiometer simple because it is a variable resistance. Okay, thus we can adjust a variable resistance. We can get a different output voltage to be given to the circuit, and it should be compared with some other known voltage or unknown voltage. We can get the some we can extract the some different output. Okay, measurement of current, maybe unknown current, unknown voltage, and power. Power is nothing but we can get a input voltage and current. We can multiply that. We have to find out the current, power, and measurement of resistance. Okay, unknown resistance. So here is the unknown, using that voltage box also used for to measure the unknown resistance also. Okay, because we can take the output voltage here, and because that resistance value we don't know, so here V equal to I into R. So here input voltage is there, it's available. The resistance value couldn't know, and current I will be found out here. Maybe you can fix the ammeter, we can find the current, and R equal to V by I formula. Just we can find out the resistance value also possible. Okay, so simple formula, Ohm's law. Using the formula, we are find out the different parameter also. So it can be used for to measure the unknown resistance, and these three elements or these three applications are like calibration purpose. Okay, so we can calibrate the ammeter and voltmeter and wattmeter with standard instrument. Okay, with standard instrument we can connect this potentiometer, and the variable input voltage to be given to the measured instrument, that calibrated instrument, and testing instrument. Okay, so both are giving some output. It should be compared. Okay, both are equal means the galvanometer will be deflected is 0 means, so the both meters are working perfectly. So any deflection is there means we need calibration for that instrument. Okay, this is a working functional applications of DC potentiometer. So if any doubt from that potentiometer topic, so here potentiometer topic having 5 different types, Vernier type and Crompton's and dual range and volt ratio box, and previous one is a like Brooks deflection method. Okay, so 5 different types of DC potentiometers are there to measure the unknown voltage as well as current and resistance also we have to find out. Any doubt from DC potentiometer? Any doubt?